Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Welcome to the Infowars Nightly News. I'm Darren McBreen. It is Thursday, December 4th, 2014. And here's a quick look at what's coming up.
Tonight, Attorney General Eric Holder promises to end racial profiling. Then, the FBI admits a probe into the death of Michael Hastings. And police celebrate the Eric Garner decision. That's next on the Infowars Nightly News.
Put your hand behind you.
In the wake of the recent grand jury's decisions not to indict police officers for the murders of Michael Brown in Ferguson and Eric Garner in New York, United States Attorney General Eric Holder has publicly announced that in the coming weeks, the Department of Justice, they plan on ending racial profiling once and for all. They must have a good trick up their sleeve. The DOJ will soon officially unveil the first update in over a decade to the federal rules concerning racial profiling. Holder said that he will announce updated Justice Department guidance regarding profiling by federal law enforcement, which will institute rigorous new standards and robust safeguards to help end racial profiling once and for all. Well, that sounds like a tall order. I can only speculate on how they plan on officially ending racial profiling. Good luck with all that. Eric Holder also mentioned that Barack Obama has assembled a group of law enforcement executives and community leaders. I bet that means Al Sharpton, who will meet to examine the present state of policing. And notice how they continue to make this a black versus white issue to racially divide the nation. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that 46-year-old and father of 6 Eric Garner, well, he was brutally murdered by the police for the ridiculous crime of selling cigarettes. I mean, the whole time the guy's sitting there yelling, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." And it's my opinion that every one of those cops should have been indicted for manslaughter. And I think the tragic death of Eric Garner, if you ask me, he makes a far better example for police brutality than Ferguson's poster child, Michael Brown. But hey, that's just me. But what I can't understand is why people of all color aren't equally as outraged for the, well, for example, for the murder of Kelly Thomas, who was brutally killed by the police in Fullerton, California. His last words were yelling out loud for his dad to come save him while the police basically beat him to death. All charges against the police have been dropped. And then there's the gutless, cold-blooded killing of James Boyd in Albuquerque, which may have even been premeditated, as the Albuquerque police killed him for camping in an unauthorized area of the Sandia foothills. Once again, all officers acquitted on all charges. So police brutality is indeed out of control, but it's not just racial profiling. People of all color are victims of the rise of the police state in America. Now, I thought it was interesting in the case of Eric Garner, the cop who put him in a chokehold and killed him, well, he released an apology to Garner's family. This is Officer Daniel Pantaleo. He says, "It was never my intention to harm anyone, and I feel very bad about the death of Mr. Garner. My family and I include him and his family in our prayers, and I hope that they will accept my personal condolences for their loss." So there you go, a very heartfelt apology from a cold-blooded killer. Here's what Garner's widow had to say in response.
So Pantaleo, and for you and also for a family member, has offered his condolences. Can the family find it in their heart to accept it? Do you accept it?
Hell No. The time for remorse would have been when my husband was yelling to breathe. That would have been the time for him to show some type of remorse or some type of care for another human being's life. When he was screaming 11 times that he can't breathe. So there's nothing that him or his prayers or anything else would make me feel any different. No, I don't accept his apology. No, I could care less about his condolences. No, I could care less. He's still working. He's still getting a paycheck. He's still feeding his kids. And my husband is 6 feet under. And I'm looking for a way to feed my kids now.
You know, I have to agree with her. I don't blame her for being totally outraged over the inexcusable murder of her husband. And I think we could all back her up on that. But what I don't get is she's not going to get the rest of the country to rally behind her as long as she has Al Sharpton standing next to her everywhere she goes. I mean, this guy's everywhere. He's like, where's Waldo? He's always there to photobomb. He's always there to steal the spotlight from every racial angle he could possibly muster up. Al Sharpton, the FBI informant, ambulance chasing agent provocateur, and master race baiter. Well, he's there once again. There he is on the scene. And I'm sure Jesse Jackson is probably there too. You know, the usual suspects. And by the way, I forgot to mention that Paul Joseph Watson, he found some comments on a police website, police1.com, where some police officers have responded to the grand jury's decision not to indict Officer Daniel Pantaleo by celebrating. That's right, these guys are actually excited by all this. And they say that they are now, they now have free reign to, quote, kick some thug ass. And there are many other comments equally disturbing posted on that site, and that is sure to add fuel to the fire. And I think the police departments in our country, for the most part, have changed their recruiting policies. They no longer want free thinkers. No, they want young officers who follow orders without question. And there's no question that the judicial system in our country is corrupt to the core. I mean, even if the use of deadly force is caught on camera for everyone to see, chances are that the courts will rule in favor of the police. I mean, we've seen it again and again. And the recent arms buildup and militarization of the police is no accident. And it's not about fighting terrorism. It's about controlling you and me, all of us. They want to control the masses. Well, especially now that people are finally starting to wake up. And no better way to control us than to divide and conquer. And this is mostly done through the false left versus right paradigm and through the racial division, as we are witnessing right now by design. The establishment can no longer afford the inconvenience of the Constitution to stand in their way, and they can't afford to have the masses rise up against the corporate state. And that's why you can no longer tell the difference between a military soldier and a police officer who's in full gear. Make no mistake about it, we are all enemies in the eyes of our corrupt government. And like my good friend Larry Pinckney would say, black, white, yellow, brown, and red people of all color, we are the enemy. And we are most dangerous to the establishment through our solidarity. All power to the people. And they don't want us united, they want us divided. And that's why, as we fight against each other in what could very well be the next civil war in our country, that's when the police state comes marching in through the rubble to establish order out of chaos.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 188-253-3139.